Oola the Owl Who Lost Her Hoot. Oola was tired after playing all night. "Hoot, hoot, it's bedtime," she cried as she flew through the trees back to her nest. It was nearly dawn and the forest was waking up, but Oola could only think about her cosy bed. Safely home, Oola smiled as Mummy Owl gently tucked her under a mossy blanket. "Sleep tight, little one," said Mummy Owl. "Love you, Mum," said Oola in a tired little voice. Oola frowned. Try as she might, she could not hoot. "Don't worry," said Mummy Owl. "You've been flying and calling so much you've lost your hoot. Now get some rest. You've tired yourself out." Oola was too worried to sleep. "How can I have lost my hoot?" she wondered. "I know. Must have been while I was playing. I'll fly back and find it." Oola waited until Mummy Owl wasn't looking, then flew silently into the forest. "Wow, this is amazing," thought Oola. She had never flown in daylight before, and everything looked bright and exciting. The sun filled the sky with smudges of yellow and gold, and the trees were 100 shades of green. Below her, beautiful flowers covered the ground like a patchwork quilt. As Oola swooped down to take a closer look, she saw a tiny brown mouse. "I've lost my hoot," whispered Oola. "Have you found it?" "Squeak, squeak, squeak," said the mouse. Oola took a deep breath. "Squeak, squeak. No, that's not my hoot," she thought. The mouse giggled and scampered into the bushes. Oola flew on towards the pond. Maybe her hoot was there. At the water's edge, Oola saw a speckled frog sitting on a giant lily pad. "I've lost my hoot," whispered Oola. "Have you found it?" The frog looked at Oola, puffed himself up and croaked, "Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit." Oola was so startled she nearly jumped out of her feathers. "Oh, my," thought Oola. She opened her beak as wide as she could. "Hippit, hippit," she croaked. "No, that's not my hoot," said Oola, her voice so quiet that the frog could barely hear her. Oola carried on through the forest until she saw a long-legged grasshopper jumping in the grass. "I've lost my hoot," whispered Oola. "Have you found it?" The grasshopper looked at Oola and bounced so high he nearly poked her in the eye. "Chirrup, chirrup, chirrup," he said. Oola was so determined not to give up, she opened her beak and "Hirrup, hirrup. No, that's not my hoot either," she thought. Oola was very tired, but she had to find her hoot. The mouse didn't have it, the frog didn't have it, and the grasshopper certainly didn't have it. "I know, I'll look by the stream," thought Oola. When she reached the stream, Oola saw a yellow duck taking a bath in the water. The duck said "Hello" with a loud quack, quack, quack. Poor Oola didn't need to ask. "That's definitely not my hoot," she sighed. At that moment, Oola heard a gentle hooting sound. "That's mine," she thought. "But where is it?" The duck quacked again, only this time louder, even louder, and waved his wings towards the tallest tree in the forest. Oola set off. As she flew, the hoot grew louder and louder. Sitting alone at the very top of the tallest tree, she found a big brown owl. "Hoot, hoot," said the owl. It was the loudest, hootiest hoot Oola had ever heard. "This must be mine," thought Oola. She opened her beak. Nothing. Oola started to cry. The big brown owl thought for a moment. "Have you lost your hoot, little owl?" he asked. Oola nodded. "Well, don't cry. You can share mine. Try hooting with me." The big brown owl coughed, took a deep breath, and hooted at the top of his voice. Oola coughed, took a deep breath, and still nothing. "Try again," said the big brown owl. So Oola coughed, took a big deep breath, and "Hoot, hoot, hoot!" she gasped. "I found it! Thank you, brown owl." Oola couldn't wait to get back to the nest and tell Mummy Owl she had found her hoot. She flew through the forest, hooting as she swept past the trees, the stream, and the pond, until finally she was home. Mummy Owl was waiting inside the nest. "Where have you been, Oola?" she asked. "I've been so worried about you." "I went searching for my hoot and I found it," said Oola proudly. Mummy Owl laughed and gave Oola a big owl hug. "Thank goodness you're home," she said. "I've been calling you all day and I've nearly lost my hoot." "Don't worry, Mum," said Oola with a loud hoot, hoot. "You can always share mine."